Hi guys, it's Debbie with Debbie J's Crafting Corner, and I have pulled out those Craspire wax seals to create some cards today. I've been wanting to make cards with them, and I finally got around to doing it. And these are some super simple and easy cards. While I was waiting for my wax to heat up, I went through one of my paper packs that I've had in my stash basically forever and not used, and found a couple of pages that I thought would work well together. One has this nice little plaid design and the words Happy Holidays all across it. It's one of those pages that we don't use that much because it seems like it's all of these, I don't know, like borders that are all on one page. This actually worked out perfect for me though, because Happy Holidays was on there 3 times, and I figured that means it was 4 inches wide for each of those pieces. So that's what I did. I cut that page, just that one section off, and cut it down to 4 inches wide. Put that on this lovely little cardinal background. I just think that that is so pretty. And then mounted it onto a black card base. And that would be perfect enough just by itself. But of course I wanted to add a little extra, and that's where the wax seals come in. I still have those wax seals that I made, I don't know, a couple of months back when I first got this kit, and I'm using one of those to kind of figure out placement. Then I'm doing something I've never actually done. I'm taking some gold thread and I'm attempting to kind of figured out how to position it. I'm wrapping it around my fingers to try to get some kind of placement for the front of my card, and I think I was overthinking it on the first card because I just struggled with this. So I put it kind of in place, and then I'm going to pour my hot wax over that and use one of my stamps. Next, I'm using one of the gold metallic markers to color the raised edges so that you can see what it says. And I don't know why I didn't do this sooner. This looks so lovely, and I knocked out 3 cards super fast. They just looked so nice. So now I am reloading up for my next card with some more of those little pieces of wax, and I'm going to add another little accent to the card too. It turns out that Autumn Red Nouveau Drops is a perfect match to the color of red that I'm using for both the card base, the colors in the papers, and on that wax seal. So that's what I'm using. I put a couple of little dots of that. Now I'm going to go ahead and start working on my second card, and I didn't pay as much attention or wasn't being quite as particular about that thread, so it took me no time at all to get that done. So next I basically just have to wait for the wax to melt. So I'm just repeating the process. I'm pouring the wax on, and then I'm going to take up one of my little stamps and stamp down into that wax. Like I said before in my last video, this is almost therapeutic. You can't really rush it because you have to wait for the wax to heat up and to cool down, and I just think this is just so lovely. Now, I remembered at this point that I needed to add the white piece on the inside, and I have an oops here. I forgot that I had wet Nouveau Drops on there, so I'm having to kind of start scraping it off. It had dried some, but not completely, so I'm cleaning some of that off, and before the end, I am going to, before sending this to anyone, I'm going to scrape most of that off and fix all of this mess. But even that didn't stress me out that much because like I said, this is kind of a soothing activity for these cards. They're just so super easy to do. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere the white panel on the inside of my card, lining it up on the top portion, the portion that's already done, and then folding it shut so that it's straight on the inside of my card. And I'm going to do that for both of the other cards before I add any Nuvo drops to it. Now that the insides are all in, I'm going to go ahead and color up the second wax seal that I had done using that gold marker again. I don't know about you, but I was really shocked at how well these cards came together. I absolutely love them. So now I'm starting on the third card, and again I'm doing all of that thread and again struggling. My second one I had the least amount of trouble, and I'm not sure exactly why or how I did it, but I will eventually get there. And here I started having a little bit of an issue. Either I didn't put enough wax in the container there, in the spoon, or my candle was starting to go out. You can kind of see the candle flickering there, and I think that was just the air conditioner hitting it. But again, I think it was starting to go out, so my wax didn't get hot enough for it to melt enough for me to be able to pour it all out. So you see, I didn't get nearly enough wax down to make the kind of impression that I wanted, so I'm going to add more wax into my little spoon, and I'm going to change out the candle so that hopefully I can get a better impression over it. Here's the thing, because this is just wax, you can pour more wax on top and re-stamp it without a problem. Now that the new batch of wax is all nice and melty, I can pour that down and re-stamp. Now it did work pretty good, but the wax that was there before made it kind of, I don't know, didn't go quite as deep as I wanted, but I still got a decent impression, and I still think that that card looks awesome too. So I'm adding some more of that gold marker to that wax seal, and that's going to basically finish up this last card. These were super easy, and the wax seal themselves looks different on each one, so you can tell they're all an original. I did add those Nuvo drops up in that upper left-hand corner of each of those cards, and that finishes these cards up for the day. This was so much fun playing with this wax seal kit. If you want to see my initial playtime with this set, check out my unboxing video. You'll find a link to it down in the description. If you like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing if you haven't already done so. Thanks again for dropping by, and remember, if I can make it, you can too.